So welcome back everybody, we've got an exciting episode today. In this crate that was just dropped off is something new from Baumalight. Baumalight's recently a sponsor of the channel and they reached out to me and asked would I be interested in testing their new compact stump grinder. It's purposely made for tractors in this size range right here. This is a 25 horse tractor. So smaller than this, up to about 30 plus horsepower, this is supposed to be a fit for that. Being that this is probably the most popular size tractor category on the planet, it's smart that they're trying to figure out something for this particular size tractor. So they asked if I would like to demo it, give some feedback, use it on the channel. I said, sure, why not? Y'all know I love equipment and I love sharing that with y'all. I figured y'all'd be excited to see it. So let me show you what we got right here. So in typical Baumalight fashion, very well packaged and crated up. I went ahead and cut this side open so you can see what we're working with here. It's just a compact stump grinder. It's got a disc on it right here that has cutter teeth. We'll show you all this in just a second. Take a peek up in here. We're gonna tear this crate apart. Get in there to it. I see a slip clutch drive shaft over there. That's going to be really important for something like this. And over here on this side, we have got to do an extension kit that'll go in here. And let me explain that real quick. That's important. So if you get on their website and start looking at stump grinders, especially for compact tractors, certain compact tractors like this one have such short lower control arms. They'll ask you to measure out from right here, the indention on your drive shaft, to right where these 3-point arm pins go through, and if it's too short, you need to look at the specs on their website. You've got to do an extension kit on there to space this a little further back. I had to do that, so this one come with that. All right, so here we are with the unit all hooked up. You can see I've got these extendable brackets on here now. That gives me plenty of play in this particular shaft. It's got a slip clutch right there, so if we may have any impacts, it's got clutch discs in it that will actually slip. That's a really good feature to have. Removable kickstands that go up and down whenever you drop this off. I've got them all the way up so we can grind. I had to put this deflector shield on, so as you're grinding, it'll throw your chips out to the side. So here it is, a nice, lightweight, compact unit. So if you have a small tractor, there's actually a stump grinder available now. So let's take a look at the cutting teeth right here. Now this is a demo unit, so you're going to see it's already been used. But if you take a look at these carbide cutter teeth right here, they are replaceable. And these are the same cutters that I have on my Baumalight mulcher, which is a beast. I love that thing. It's also worth mentioning this entire head right here is on a pin, so it can actually float. That's really good as well. So if you go on a stump like this and come in too low, it can float up and over it. That seems like a really good design as well. All right, so we're going to start out on some really small softwood pine stumps right here. This is in a trail where we go this direction. I always recommend starting out on something small. This is a brand new piece of equipment to me. I'm not going to go running into a large hardwood stump and potentially tear something up. All right, so what we're running this on today is our Solis H24. It's 24.8 horsepower, so you can call it a 24 or 25 horsepower tractor, whatever you'd like. Hydrostat drive, y'all. That's very important when running a stump grinder. That is a must-have. What that means is I got a forward and reverse over here, low range, high range, and I'm gonna put it low range. That allows me just to creep into a stump and creep out. You don't want a clutch-driven tractor with gears on a smaller stump grinder like this. You need to be able to ease in and out and listen to the tone of the tractor change, watch stuff if it jumps around and moves, and be able to let off the pedal and stop what you're doing. Go ahead and rev it up to the full 540 PTO. Got a clear line of sight of the stump, so that's good. All right, so as expected, had zero issues with that little softwood stump. All right, so we recently just had a hurricane come through, and y'all, I have got tops blown out of trees everywhere around here. Now, I've got some decent sized ones today, nothing massive, but it'll be a good initial test for this stump grinder. All right, so here we are next day. Let's go ahead and start with this stump right here. This is a decent size one, about a foot across. Should be a really good test for this. Nice and green. I could see a lot of people having stumps like this in their yard and looking for a small stump grinder like this to dig it up. So let's see what happens. I was getting a bit aggressive there at the end, lowering down further than I ever should have into it, but you heard the engine bog a little. It still dug into it and revved right back up. Y'all, I must say that did better than I was expecting to be on a small little tractor. And look, just that quick, a 12-inch stump. We are, hard to tell on camera, probably 4 inches beneath the ground. So I could easily put all this stuff back in here, run through here with the mower, especially the tractor mower, not gonna make contact with anything. That worked extremely well on a softwood pine stump. I mean, extremely well. Let's go get a couple more. All right, so right here is probably a 7 to 8 inch stump. I could see a lot of yards having these. Let's leave this in real time and see how quick we can get through this. I'm still learning the machine, feathering the controls of the tractor, but I have a feeling we can get through this very quickly and then on to the next stump. Y'all, I don't know, what was that, a minute? And that's with me still learning the controls. Now I could grind outside of the stump getting roots, I could grind further down, but y'all, this time, if this is ground level and down here's what's left of the stump, I mean, I'm 5 inches deep. I guess I missed a little bit right here. I can come back and get that literally in one pass. So yeah, a minute to turn a stump into that. That's pretty awesome. This is already low enough I can just mow right over it if I come out here and mow in the pines. And this little bit of stuff that I should have made one more pass on, that'll be rotten here in no time. That's working better than I was expecting to be such a small package. All right, let's go get another one. All right, so take a look in here. This is something I was excited to get to demo this on right here. This is gonna be something like a lot of y'all have in your yard. Right down here, I've got hardwood stumps in here. They're older, but they're, you know, decent size. That's a 10-inch hardwood stump. That's an oak. And I can't mow in here with my lawnmower because I have stumps like this just hidden everywhere, and the deck will catch on those. And I don't want to damage nothing on my lawnmower. I mean, it's older, but it's still very solid and hard. Let's see how the teeth act any different on an old hardwood stump here. This is something I've been looking forward to getting out of the way. Now, I have an excavator, but a lot of y'all don't have an excavator. Plus, the reason I haven't dug this up is I've got our big, beautiful oak here, and it's got roots that come out everywhere. The last thing I want to do is come in here with my excavator and dig up this huge area to get this stump out, breaking a lot of the roots that go to my tree here. That's why I haven't come in and dug nothing up. All right, y'all, I didn't really know what to expect there, but I thought that did awesome. And shockingly, this stump is still quite green in the bottom, so that's great. I was wanting to hit a hardwood stump today, and we did. And this thing is a lot bigger than the camera shows. But you see, I just dug it down several inches. Some of you are going to want to keep digging down into the dirt, getting the roots. I get that, because eventually this stump will rot and the area will kind of sink in. So either you grind the whole stump out, or I cover it up just like this. Now it's no longer a risk to hitting my mower. I mean, I'm 4 inches below grade right here. And if I see it sink in the future, I just come back with a tractor bucket, put a little dirt here, fill the area in. That'll actually take a few years for this to completely rot. Quite shocking to me that I cut this tree down a few years ago, and then once we ground down in it, it's green. But what y'all can't see is the stumps from here to there, all the way from there back to here. So that is probably 18 inches across and 14 to 15 inches that way, and that's an oak, and it's still solid. This little thing handled that absolutely no problem. Sweet. Now you can see out here I'm riddled with little stumps like this. These are oaks as well. That's actually one big stump. It's older, a little more rotten. I'm gonna hit that real quick. Then I have little stumps like this right here, just an old rotten one. I could probably make one pass over that and knock it down where I won't catch the mower deck. They're everywhere out here, so I'll just have to keep finding them, knocking them off. All right, y'all, first impressions. I'm impressed. I am actually shocked at what little 25 horse tractors like this can do. This is our little Solis H24, 24.8 horsepower. And honestly, whenever I first had heard about 25 horse tractors, which by the way, I think are the most common size tractor on the planet, at least here in the States. This is what a lot of small homeowners are buying. I used to think 25 horse tractors were toys, honestly. I've always had bigger tractors. When I finally got my hands on one and started seeing all the implements like that that's available for them and actually using this, it has changed my mind greatly. I can totally see why people are running this size tractor right here. You can do so much with it. And whenever you have companies like Baumalight custom making attachments just for this size tractor, I mean, yeah, I can understand why the homeowner's buying stuff like this. Let's just say for what you could hire a professional stump grinder service to come out and take care of several stumps would probably pay for one of these. Or if you hired one to come out a couple times for a couple stumps, would probably almost pay for one of these. And it may make more sense for the homeowner to have one of these. Now with that said, the professional is coming out with $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 equipment. They can tackle much bigger stumps than this can. They can do it more efficiently and quicker. But if you're like me, I would much rather my money go toward owning a product instead of paying for a service. This may be right up your alley. Now let me go ahead and let y'all know, today we tackled several softwood stumps, no problem. We tackled one decent hardwood stump. Happy to see it went through that, no problem. But I know some of you are gonna wanna see some bigger stumps and more hardwood testing. Right now I have a lot of trees down out in the woods. We just had a hurricane. I can't access them right now. My trails are blocked everywhere. I've got to set time aside to go clear those trails out so we can get out and start running some of this equipment. However, I'm about to head over to a friend's in a couple of weeks who has about 20 stumps we're gonna go after with this, and they're all hardwood stumps. So we've got you some testing coming up. Just subscribe to the channel, stay tuned. We're about to really put this thing through its paces and kind of see what it can and can't handle. At the end of the day, keep in mind, 25 horse tractor, one of the smallest stump grinders I've ever seen. This is gonna have its limitations. Right now, we haven't found that, and I'm very pleased at what this can do. All right, hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. I love testing equipment like this. This is awesome. I just love getting out and working the property, and I am shocked to see what all kinds of things are being made for these compact tractors. If you want information on the Baumalight stump grinder, I'm gonna put a link down in the description. You can go check out their website. If you want information on our solis tractor, I'll put a link down there as well, because this combo is working great. I will say anybody with a 25 to 30 horse tractor, maybe even less horsepower, I just don't have it to test, it looks like this is gonna work absolutely fine on it. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. A lot more equipment videos coming, a lot of hurricane cleanup, excavators, tractors. We're about to be running a lot of stuff. Catch you on the next one.